Good evening, good evening, good evening again, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. Just like last time, we're jumping right in, so speeding through the disclaimers real quick here. When we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people's mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. All right, where we left off. After L.E.'s mother tried the ESD herself and discussed it with her husband, L.E.'s parents decided to allow the addition of the ESD treatment to L.E.'s program. This is the most ridiculous and batshit insane thing I've ever seen, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna hella judge the parents right now. Hella judge the parents. What in the name of God would make you think that your child, who very clearly has epilepsy already, that introducing someone shooting an electrical current multiple times a day that is just below the lethal limit, considering they also have epilepsy, is a good idea? What in the name of God is wrong with these people? How did they think that was going to go? How did they think that was going to go? Even if this was one of the not so overpowered GED, introducing something like that and putting it on and using it on someone who already has epilepsy. Are you trying to kill the kid? Is that what you want to happen, parents? Do you have any idea about the fact that using that machine on your kid could actually contribute to them going into a seizure? Like, but it's the only thing that works. And parents, I understand that you guys unfortunately did not have a guide there to walk you through the service system the way that you should have had. But on the other end here, in particular with this situation, this is common fucking sense. If your kid has epilepsy and they are on medications to help them manage it as best as possible, why in the name of God would you ever think it was a good idea to stick him on that device, or her, or that? There are some folks that live out here who left high school in the 4th grade, not to buy the tools in the drawer. Even they would know that sticking a device like that on a child that already has epilepsy could lead to something absolutely horrific. I try to be nice to some of the parents, but this is a situation in particular. What kind of psychopath thinks that's a good idea? that kid could have ended up dead. Dead! I like to think that the JRC cannot get possibly more horrifying than what I already know they are. And then I read through shit like this. And it looks like sometimes there's no bottle to the insanity, the evil. If you're a parent, your kid has epilepsy, and you have your kid at a school where they say that they need to pump them full of electricity, the answer is no. Straight no. No arguments. If they try to pull their usual manipulative crap, you are still the parent. You take your kid and you get them the hell out of there. The hell is wrong with y'all? Like, folks, I can't even. But we tried it on ourselves. Are you the one that has epilepsy, Karen? Is it you who has epilepsy? If the answer is no, then the hell is wrong with you? Most of us, my family, know that so much as heavily blinking light or being in front of a strobe light can send somebody who has epilepsy into a seizure. This school is shooting them full of electricity. Now, something else about epilepsy. It doesn't matter whether it's the highest setting or the lowest setting. Doing that to someone with epilepsy can absolutely have horrific results. Wherever LE is right now, I hope that they are safe and healing and as far the fuck away from these people as humanly possible. Matter with people. All right, we're going to try to paraphrase. Just Jesus. During the 60 days of treatment, Ellie received a total of 6 ESD applications, and her major problem behaviors decreased to near zero levels. I'm going to call bullshit. And also, JRC, but it was only a few times. It only takes once. It only takes once. And since I know that JRC unfortunately has a long history of misunderstanding what is a developing health condition and being able to separate it from a quote unquote behavior, that makes me even less comfortable with sending a poor kid with epilepsy and putting them in their hands. But then it was removed. It was no longer necessary. They could eat lunch, and they're happy, and the world opened up. I'm going to close out in a minute, but let me explain it to you all for the billionth time. Most of us autistics, particularly those of us who have we're relatively verbal, depending on the situation, learn pretty early how to show the people, the neurotypical people around us, the exact picture that they want to see and tell them the things that they want to hear to get us out of dangerous situations, to get people to leave us the fuck alone, to be able to go on unnoticed somewhere else. We learn to mask. We learn to mask. We create separate personas that we wear whenever we go out into public or have to deal with insane stuff like this or school, and all of it, we do it as a survival mechanism. Because if we associate the quote-unquote behaviors they hate, the fact that we are antisocial and don't feel the need to be social, all of that, we're going to do whatever we have to do while your eyeballs are on us to portray the exact image you want us to be. To save our own ass and to get you all to leave us the fuck alone. But the thing is, people that have astronomical egos, like those at the JRC, refuse to accept that the act that we are putting on is exactly that. The JRC wants to believe, well, obviously, we put them in their treatment and they're better. And they like life and they're being more social. Yeah. See, I was in an abusive situation when I was a kid. A good majority of us are in some way, shape, or capacity. We mask to save our own ass. If me pretending to be someone else, if creating a whole persona is necessary so I can keep myself fucking safe, keep myself at least within the minimal type of punishments in regards to, shit like this, I'm going to show you exactly what you want to see, but none of it is real. None of it's real. It's an act. It's a character. But then they fade and then have a behavior. You want to know what that's called? And don't just ask me. Ask actual actors that did this sort of shit for their job. When you create a persona and you have to pull it off 24/7, 365, it is mentally, emotionally, physically, in every way conceivably exhausting. And there becomes a point where there's just not enough left to keep the mask up. So what you guys would call a regression is not a regression at all. It's the mask dropping. Because we can't pretend to be someone we're not forever. And then you know what happens when that mask drops? In a place like this, they slam you back on that machine. And you have to do the same shit all over again. So they can tell you that they're happy, the world's better now, with big smiles, they're being social, they're trying. It's not real. Okay? It's not real. The sad thing is, especially those of us who've been abused who learned how to mask out of sheer need of survival, is that when you are forced to do it for so long, day after day, year after year, eventually you get to a point in your life where you can no longer determine who you are underneath the mask anymore. You want to talk about years of therapy and unpacking you got to do to get back to that. I'm still in the process of it. So when I'm saying JRC, it's just because they are showing you exactly what you want to see. Just because they are saying everything you want them to say, where everything is almost eerily and creepily perfect. It's not because your batshit insanity has made them better. It's because our own fear factor kicked in. So we've created a persona to slip into to try to keep ourselves as safe as humanly possible. Okay? All right. We're going to go ahead and close out on that for tonight, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time this evening. Merry Christmas to everyone out there who watches these videos. I know it's not entertaining or perfect, but I do what I can. Have a wonderful Christmas with your families. We're heading out to Mom's place out in Pierce City for another taco Christmas. Yeah, it's gonna rule. Taco Christmas is best Christmas. You can't change my mind. Bye bye, everyone. Merry Christmas.